Believe it or not, we're moving again. But this move has me very excited. Compared to the last move, which was well over $2,000, this move will be approximately $500 to move. My son will be helping me move the smaller items, and then there will be about 10 to 12 large items that the movers will be moving. We were moving into a temporary place, waiting for our spot on the waiting list to move up to number 1 so we can move to the place we really want to be. And I'm not going to say it's our forever home. You never know. You never know how many more times we'll be moving. Our forever home is in heaven, actually, and I'm really glad about that. We're just traveling through. We're just traveling through on this planet. Our real home is in heaven. I have been rereading Clutter's Last Stand by Dawn Aslett. And I had to repurchase it because I donated to the library several years ago. But when I read it, it was a real game changer for me. Our stuff costs us money. That's no surprise, especially when it costs of moving. He says, the average American moves 14 times in a lifetime. Well, we're not average because this will be move 26 for us in our marriage. And then it was around 12 moves when I was a child growing up. And then he says, if a third of your stuff is clutter, you could save 8 moving van loads if you dejunked. People spend literally millions moving junk. A couple of my acquaintance promoted to a new assignment was amazed at the boxes they had to put away after the van unloaded and pulled away. 3 of the first 11 boxes were boxes of trash and garbage to be thrown in the alley. But the movers, apparently unable to see much difference, had packed and transported them across the entire U.S. We all haul junk around at great expense and effort at moving time, not to mention all that moving of things from room to room, to and from our storage areas, our briefcases, and even our pockets. It's an unnecessary load. Dump it before you move on. It's easier to cope with before than after. You'll never have the time to go back through. All our stuff shuffling even has a life cycle of its own. So I started to think about my life cycle, or our life cycle of stuff. And when I wrote on a blog, the blog this week, hope you will read it. It's about our story of stuff, our cycle of stuff that started out with a tiny, teeny attic apartment with just a very few items. And then it accumulated and accumulated, and now we're in the process of deaccumulating again instead of accumulating, which I think is very important in our senior years. You never know when circumstances will change, and you don't want to be caught in an emergency situation. An emergency move is no fun, believe me. I have talked to several people in my building about their emergency moves and how traumatic it was. Any move is traumatic, but emergency move is something you want to avoid the trauma of as much as you can. It's always going to be a trauma, moving all your stuff, but the less you have to move, the better. Think about it. See you next time. Bye.